right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime.
Kamara Drive-In. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Cincinnati Bengals, and he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25, and the New Orleans Saints. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. first rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Watson on 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Watson. He's got his man in the crossing route. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Josh Allen in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
50, plant. Right there, 56. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Oh, Walker showing the power. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. An update from Buffalo. The Bills have taken the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down. Watson now 8 of 8 throwing the football in this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. This is Elliott. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Elliott. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2nd down and goal. Watson, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Deshaun Watson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
I don't even know why this team showed up. Jim,
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 18.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Jones from the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Barnett. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Anzalone coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Here's 3rd and goal now, back at the 11.
56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
Operating from the gun, Jones. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, You're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. On second down, Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They are going for it. Here's Watson, escaping the pressure right. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Elliott. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
Now Elliott. And his rough afternoon Continues. He's going nowhere again.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Throwing on third down, Watson buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Watson dancing to his left. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So as they take it over, we step aside. Going for it has paid off twice already on this drive. Can they convert again on 4th down? Let's see. Watson, flush to his right. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A 4th down gamble turns into a 4th down scramble, but all is well. 1st down. One man in the backfield, Elliott. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss because that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the gun, Jones. That's caught by Treadwell. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
Here we go.
Now.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check 24. Check 24.
Jones now operating from the gun. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Jones heading up here 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Throw left side complete. That's Barnett. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Set 90 Wolf.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Let's go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room. to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Point after try forthcoming. And this is up and good. It cuts the lead to 28-10 now. That time a 9-play drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead. Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation. Or go 4 verticals because why not? Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Packers who have the lead as that game approaches halftime.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On second down now, it's Jacobs. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Jones. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now it's Watson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Watson now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's first and 10. Watson now to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Check 53. Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
They run it again with Kamara. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. They've been brilliant, perfect on 4th down so far. 3 for 3, and they're going to try again here. Here we go on 4th. Watson, he may try and run for this. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Now Elliott. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
They're trying to show you they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's how we do it.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Check, 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 check. Nine.
57. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. This is caught. And he's going to get into the end zone. So the fake spike works, and they score. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Lutz good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up!
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Barnett. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Ready to break.
54, right there, right there. 54, Mike.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch Twitter.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
We got 4.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And this is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. But now it's 3rd down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Saints to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Squeeze, double.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Well, they have the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Jacobs, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Here we go.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Back to throw. Jones. And this one to Treadwell, complete. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
A gain of 14. And a Bengal first down.
Jones now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
You got nothing.
Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Jones to throw on third down. Throw left side, complete. That's Waters. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's Watson. Steps away to his left. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Fourth down, no problem. 19 yards that time, and now it's 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson being chased out left. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. The Saints on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 there and a New Orleans first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 36. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4. Phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
You must be dreaming.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Bengals.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Jones, operating from the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Barnett. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Takk McKinley made his way into the backfield.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He completes it to Boyd. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And now he's going to use his legs. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Forced out to his left. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Tighten up.
2nd and 3. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, there you go, Charles, his first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit. Maybe down. Because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Jones now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jacobs. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackler.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be third down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Looking to throw. Jones. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Let it go.
Throwing on third and long. Burrell buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
Now Jones throwing on third and long. And he's got room. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Lutz good on the extra point. The game's gone final in Indianapolis. And it was the Colts emerging victorious. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken near the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New Orleans, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Make it count for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride. For my brothers, no lie. All you can die. Never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side. Yeah, we in it for life. When I've been up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes?